Hey everybody, Happy New Year from Newsense Trading. I wanted to get the year started off right and do a real quick breakdown for the week, pairs that we'll be looking at. So let's go ahead and get started. We're looking at USD and JPY still. As you know, I've been very bearish on this ever since this level was hit, and that was around mid-December. It ended up falling and it kept falling. Coinciding here with a downward sloping trend line and landing just on top of that. This is a good profit area. We're looking at a 25 to 1 risk reward. Absolutely massive on this thing. Drill in a little bit more and kind of see how deep it got. So there was a huge red candle. That was the December month drop down. A lot of bearish activity. Excuse me. Okay, had a little sneezing fit. Anyway, so USD JPY on the weekly, you can see how there were several bars that turned that bearish. We broke through this level, which is huge whenever we break through a 50 EMA on the higher time frames. Broke this one way up here, along with coinciding again with this kind of like a wedge pattern going on here, along with the key level. It just really reacted and dropped like crazy. Also, MACD played a huge factor as far as kind of telegraphing the move, so I really like that. Let's go down and see what kind of entries we might have had here. This is a really clean entry. Since we already know the size of the move and what happened here, let's kind of, let me see if I can. Actually, I'll leave it. I promise there's a way here. Okay. The settings button isn't working the way I want it to, so anyways, we're in there. If I wanted to go back, okay, so we see that clearly today-ish is where the move stopped. If I wanted to go back, I click on the pivot lines or pivot points. I don't know why it's doing that. Give me a second here. Okay, so I got my act together. Sometimes you have to refresh the screen in order for it to act right here. So I need to find my favorites. Let's see here, vertical line. Here. So I'm looking for entries, and my entry is usually price action converging on the blue and the red line at the same time. You know, layman's terms, basically the 50 EMA and the pivot area. So that's where I'm looking for my entries at. Things that make sense. Something like this is kind of difficult because we're not quite getting to the pivot area, but there is definitely room to enter here. And then again, room to enter here. I'm only going to mark it if it actually touches or crosses like it did right here. Right here. I wouldn't get in right here and here. This is the same move. This is really clean. And this is pretty much how it happens, man. So, and again, so you might be wondering why right in here, there's nothing that I really would have said, all right, I'm getting in. And the reason for all that is not because there's not entries. Like right here's kind of an entry, but the price is acting weird, so I would never get in right here. You see this? Skipping around. I couldn't do it. This is around Christmas. That's why, because I think they only traded half a day. But 9-10 is off. Yeah, I wouldn't trade that. That's ridiculous. Way hard for me to understand what's going to happen here. Then right after Christmas, the day after Christmas, we see this big hike up, and it's in this area, which it's above the 50 MA, the red line, and it's also it's above the 50. That's all I got to really say on this, because based on my entry criteria, if this is above 50 EMA, I can't get in anyway, so I can't. There's no entry here. There's nothing here, and then there appears to be one right here on the 30th. So here comes the real magic. We see that if you get in way back here, clearly next to the orange line, we're looking at a 25. Here we go, sorry. A 25% move, so 25 to 1 risk reward. Amazing. You got amazing price protection based on history and based on the formation of the structure, the price structure or whatnot. It's lovely. And so you would have had to get in back here on the 14th. Let me draw that in. This is like perfect. I saw the future and I did this like to a T. This is a perfect trade. But not everybody's going to be able to get into this perfect trade. Just because the factors don't really add up necessarily for you to want to enter right here, but you can definitely tell that getting in around this area is definitely would have been doable and foreseeable. So if I didn't get in with this perfect trade, another entry is right here. So now we've got two entries. And the cool thing about it is this. I'm going to move this over. So each one of these will coincide with its entry. Just want to do this exercise real quick with y'all. If you don't mind. Oops, this one. Okay. Okay. So not 25, let's say 24, whatever. Trying to be accurate with it. So I line that up with the next entry that could have been taken. Let's do that. So I can just kind of show you guys how you combo this and you end up having several trades. So I enter again around this area. So move this to make it accurate. Just want to keep it accurate here. All right. Around this area, I'm still above the orange area, and probably say that I can take this down to previous low. So now I got this is a 4% trade. What happened here? Then I would have got into another trade right in here. Right in this area is where my stop would be. A lot of downward momentum. I'd probably say right in here when I saw it going crazy would probably be the time to get out. Yeah, something like that. Stretch it to the next entry. And so when I say that, really, I try to be realistic on profit targets for previous trades. So if there's a previous trade and we're going all the way down to these levels, but in between there's this pullback right in here. It's kind of choppy. I probably would have either got out right here or watched it to see if it crossed the 50 EMA. And it didn't cross the 50 EMA until way down here. So based on that, I can actually talk myself into doing this. So now that's a 4% trade. So we got a 25% trade. That's the overall, the big position if I got in perfect, right? But aside from that, we got almost a 4%. We have a 4%, so that's 8% so far. And then let's see what this position looks like. I'd take it down to the top of this trend line that I drew on the higher time frame. So this position was shaped like this. And it's really, really good to get realistic at this because really you don't want to be far-fetched. You don't want to be unrealistic. You want to make sure that your trades are going to be based on the same type of logic over and over. And preferably the same type of setup over and over. So this is a 3% play. And I would have been out right in here. Notice how most of my trades only last 1, 2. This is a 3-day joint. This would have been a 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, 4 or 5 days joint, and then excuse me. This first trade, I probably would have been out around 2nd day. So it doesn't take forever. Sometimes you can combo and hold it all the way down. That'd be ideal. But along with saying that, the other side of that coin is I want to be in way early in order to really hold for a long time. And what I mean by that is I have this feel for it where if I know that the move started a long time ago and I'm getting in over in here or over in here, I know that there's a lot of the move already happened. So I'm not necessarily getting in order to hold it all the way, for a long trade. So even if I say, all right, we're not perfect, so, and you guys see how I miss, trades from time to time, which is fine. It's part of the game. So 24%, let's take that all the way out. I still got a 4%, 4%, 3%. It's 11% in about a month's time. Half a month, sorry. So that would have started on the 16th. That's when I would have started piecing together these trades. But that's the power of the pyramid reversal strategy. Is you can take shit down like that and it's perfect. I love it. So yeah, just want to do that thorough breakdown. I'm going to do another lesson soon, and I'll kind of go through all the pairs for the week. I know I said that at the beginning of the video, but yeah, I think I want to make a short video this time. So here you go. Peace.